Friday night of Week 2 on North Metro TV finds us again at Spring Lake Park High School as the Panthers hunt for their first win in a rivalry way, taking on the Irondale Knights. Knights come in at 1-0 off a Week 1 victory. Panthers 0-1, looking to change that story tonight. It's the rivalry game for the Panthers. Our cameras are trained here. I'm J.W. Cox alongside our entire North Metro TV crew. Glad you are with us here. Everybody in these two programs knows how important this game is just from that standpoint of the heated rivalry. But folks around these two teams also know how important it will be to control the line of scrimmage in this game, as each team put up impressive rush numbers a week ago in the Week 1 win for Irondale. And even though they lost, they actually outgained Becker, did the Spring Lake Park Panthers on the ground a week ago. And that is where this game will be decided. A combined 447 rush yards and 7 touchdowns for these two teams. That was a lot of Irondales. They put up 291 and 5 touchdowns from 5 different guys against Park Center. Panthers, though, for their own good against Becker, a team they didn't know they were playing until the night before, put up 156 and 2 touchdowns on the ground. So it's going to come down to the run game when you talk matchups to try and have success stopping or executing the run game. It's going to be up the middle. On one side for the Irondale Knights, the guys they're handing the ball to, exemplified best by their top running back from a week ago, Jordan Shaw, 8 carries for 113, more than 14 yards a carry. On the other side, we highlight a linebacker in the middle, Davario Kaja. He was the leading linebacker tackler a week ago with 7 against Becker. You go back a year, this matchup, it was the middle linebacker Blaine Cooper who had the most stops against an Cooper and company last year held the Knights in check. This year, the Panthers looking to hold the Knights in check and get win number 1. Shaw, who we were just talking about, also returns kicks. Could be a part of this game from that aspect as well. And he will take it out past the 35-yard line, where the Irondale Knights will start with the football. There's Jordan Shaw already making an impact. The junior 5'10", 210 pounds. And he pushes it all the way out for the Knights. And we're underway. Boom, ready to go here just a couple of minutes before 7. And from the 36-yard line, the Knights will start it. Their senior quarterback, Jack Zupfer. Play action fake, wants to throw on first down, and he does. He finds his tight end out in the flat. Make that Gabe Casper. Casper, the senior, brings it all the way out to the 44-yard line. So it'll be a 2nd down and 2. Glad you're with us. It's a chilly night here. Give you some weather details in just a moment. Under center goes up for this time. And he'll give to the deep back, who runs into some traffic right at the 45-yard line. So that's just a yard for Reuben King. Reuben King had some tough going on a few carries last week, but listed as one of the 2 starting running backs. King, along with Griffin Barassa. And we'll bring up a 3rd down and 1. This was a crucial part of the game last week against Becker, getting off the field on 3rd down. 4 down linemen for the Panthers. Looking at that shotgun. A drive and a big-time hit by Kaja just past the 40-yard line to upend the tailback, Ibrahim Thompson. And it depends on the spot. I don't think he got past the 46, so it should be 4th and 1. As you check it again, Kaja blows right through the line of scrimmage and knocks him down. And it will be 4th down and 1. And they'll go for it from near midfield in the shotgun. looking for rather the pooch punt, and they do roll out and pooch it, and it skies out of bounds. That'll be somewhere near the 35-yard line. And so the Panthers do get off the field. They allowed 3 third-down conversions on the opening drive for the Becker Bulldogs a week ago. And this time off the field on a punt on the first drive here in week number 2. Glad you're with us. Sitting at 39 degrees here at kickoff. Could make our way as low as 36. There is a little bit of wind, so that could play a factor too for these two teams who last week were worried about 70-degree weather and staying hydrated. Henry Dennis hit the hole. It closed quickly. Bounces out to the right side. Strung all the way out. Finally turns upfield. Once he gets to the 38-yard line, they'll give him the 39 where his foot stepped out. So a long way to go for Dennis to pick up the 3 yards. The senior running back, 5'10", 205 pounds. Not a lot of running room for Dennis last week. Spring Lake Park, and the starting quarterback, Aaron Clausen, says something to Dennis, offset behind him. Single wing on the right side is Litke going in motion. Clausen will keep, had the pitch option. Dives instead out past the 40. Positive yardage to the 42. From the 42, a third down, staring at the Panthers for the first time with 9.5 to go. Clausen will split a couple wide. He threw for 60 through the air last week. Fumbled with the snap, wanted to go throwing to the left, now running to the right. And he is upended at the 50-yard line, taken down by Ryan Barnett. But Clausen has the first down. The Panthers will move the sticks right to midfield on a pickup of 8. Solid run. He's got 10 on the ground so far. Back to the traditional wing look. Litke going in motion. Litke will get it, moving around the left edge. That left edge was set by 2 Knights, including Alton Glodek, who'd come up from his corner spot to get in there with Trenton Taylor and make the stop. Logan Kraychek also there to help ride down the ball carrier. Litke, a 3rd ball carrier already in this game. The edge was set by the corner, and then Kraychek came on over and made the tackle. Gain of 3 into Irondale territory at the 47. Panthers will give to Aaron Payne up the middle, Nathaniel Winninger right up the middle. And he was stopped up immediately. No gain at the 47. We'll bring up a 3rd down and 8. Second drive of the game. This one belonging to the Panthers in this scoreless contest. These two rivals playing for the 20th time since 2004. Postseason matchups in there. Clausen's going to keep, try to wind his way for the 8. And he pushes past the 45-yard line. They'll mark him right at the 45. So we'll bring up a 4th down and 6. Off that gain of 2.
That brings up 4th down and 5 from the Irondale 45.
Going forward here on 4th down. Panthers did not do this late against Becker in week 1. And a bad snap on a punt ended up costing them the game-winning touchdown. The hands of the Becker Bulldogs. Here, no question, going on 4th down. Clausen could see pressure from 4, maybe 5 up front, and instead, Coach Stewart wants to take a timeout. So we'll see if they, in fact, go for it here. So last week, they didn't go for it. Here, they'll try and execute on the punt again, sending Caden Carson, out there to look to pin Irondale deep. Coach Stewart making the call for the timeout. Longtime member of the offensive staff here, 15 years as a assistant coach and offensive coordinator, third year as the head man for the Panthers. And he's looking to get his team to bounce back. They didn't know they were playing Becker until Thursday of last week. And it was a pretty good battle of two teams. A little high snap, brought down, foot into it. Will bounce and take an Irondale bounce and then a Panther hop inside the 10-yard line and settle in deep. So a great punt that time for Caden Carson. And the junior got the leg into it. And they'll pin him back deep. Ben Fuller in his 7th season for the Irondale Knights. And there's the Panther connection there too. He took over after 10 years at Highland Park in St. Paul. Took over for Ben Geisler at Irondale, who Panther fans know as an assistant coach for a number of years here. And then, of course, North Metro TV viewers know as the one-time Blaine head coach. Pitch coming to Shaw. The Panthers see it right away and stuff it right up. And there's Kaja on the tackle, diving in to make the stop. Kept him shy of the 10. Might have lost a yard back to the 7. And they leave him spotted at the 8. Good read on the pitch. Kaja plants the foot. Forced back in and helped clear up the tackle with Skelly. They'll try it again. This time running through a seam on the right side, and the Panthers close that one up quickly. Up from the defensive back spot comes leading tackler Joey Sorensen to make the stop. But past the 10-yard line to the 11 for a gain of 3. They give him the 12, so it's 3rd down and 6. Chance to get off the field, though, for the Panthers yet again, and keep the field position tilted in their favor. Delayed draw. Run to Sean. He's ripped down immediately before he can get going. Read well by the Panthers. And that was Andy Pakala who got in there on 3rd down and will force this 4th down. They lost 5 yards. Pakala nearly overran it with the draw call and still able to reach out with that left paw. Might have been being held in there on the interior. And he got enough support from Drew Watts coming over from that edge to make the stop. This punt comes fluttering down, still in Irondale territory at the 35-yard line. And so the decision to not go for it and instead punt to drive them back. The execution was there, and it will work out for Spring Lake Park with great field position for drive number 2 as we've gone deep into the first quarter here with just 5 minutes to go. Taking over at the Knights' 35-yard line. 2 meetings last year, both lopsided wins in favor of the Panthers in this battle for the block. Irondale hasn't won this matchup since 2017. Play action fake to Dennis. Clausen tried to get away on the edge, and he could not get away from Henry Eilifson. The senior defensive end made a play similar to what we just saw from Pakala. Nearly overran it. Nearly tackled Dennis, the wrong man, and still got enough of Clausen to bring him down. He'll lose a yard to the 36. Clock continues to spin. This is the 2nd drive of the night for the Panthers. They'll sling it out for the first time to Skelly on the edge, looking for a block. He gets a left-hand stiff arm down the sideline, and he is just out of bounds inside the 15. What a catch and run for Caleb Skelly, the 6'4 senior. And he turns a little wide receiver bubble screen into big-time yardage. He had 2 catches for 43 a week ago. And this one down to the 14 will go for 22. And he nearly took it to the house, if not for just stepping out of bounds right there. 1 attempt, 1 completion for the junior Clausen. Litke in motion, give to Dennis this time. He'll bounce to the outside, needs to beat one man. Hot steps his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers. Henry Dennis had plenty of field to the left. And after a rough game last week when he just could not get things going, Dennis, who scored 10 times on the ground a year ago, takes it in from 14 for the touchdown. Extra point try coming up for Braden Comer. They had one of those blocked last week. Again, try to execute here. Comer gets it away, up and through, and it's 7-0. Panthers. Henry Dennis. This is an excellent run here. Makes the decision to bounce it out of a broken tackle. Didn't really have any blocking. And just able to turn that corner sharp and burst his way into that blue paint. Good field awareness, knowing when he had to make that cut. And a little hesitation had that third defender flying by. It's 7-0 Panthers. That drive took less than a minute. The tremendous field position starting at the 35. 3 plays, the big pitch and catch for 22 yards from Clausen to Skelly. And the next play, the bounce handoff to the left for Dennis and the score. 48 seconds off the clock. So how can the Knights respond? They'll have to do it off a bounding kick. It's grabbed over the shoulder by Foster Mulvihill. The sophomore showed some good hands right there as the ball took a pretty good hop. Maybe something you could do something nifty with on a onside kick scenario off the foot of Comer that time. Panthers have already rushed for 32. The one pass going for 22 against Coach Fuller's squad. He's been coaching high school ball since the age of 19. He joined the Highland Park staff when he was just a 19-year-old. 7th season now as the head man at Irondale. He's looking to get the Knights back in this game. They'll start with the pitch, running to the near side. Panthers flying to the ball. First man there was Nick Ogile, and the junior rips the ball carrier to the deck. The forward progress will go to the 25 for a loss of 2. Just a beautiful pursuit by all the blue shirts to turn them back inside. That was Skelly on the edge. Made sure they came back in. Drew Watts also in on the stop. 2nd down and 12. Zupfer to throw, and that's been their most successful play so far as Zupfer goes up top again to Gabe Casper, who's has his 2nd catch of the game. All the way out to the 32-yard line. Clean pocket, accurate throw, and a big target making the grab. Immediate hit from Caleb Skelly. Held on to the football. Pickup of 7. Righty quarterback rolling left to throw again. Now he's looking for something, and he'll just slide down back inside the 30. Nowhere to go with Skelly and Nick Wetzel running him down on the near side. Keep the clock spinning, under 3 minutes to go. He'll lose yardage back to the 27, -5, and it'll be 3rd down and 5. 3rd down and 10, rather. 4th down, excuse me. And the Panthers not even messing around. High punt. Panthers coming for it. Will they get it away? And eventually Noah Kiani does just that. Avoids the complete disaster. It bounces out of bounds, still in Irondale territory at the 49-yard line. And that's where the Panthers will take over. So already up a score. The Knights trying to make adjustments here on an offense that last week put up 52 points in a win over Park Center. You've got a different opponent here on the road than you did in the Pirates last week. Clausen, he'll keep. Tries to turn upfield. He's ripped down by Blake Helland, middle linebacker, part of a good middle linebacking tandem. Helland and Trenton Taylor up the middle. This time it's Helland. Stays there. You see Taylor, number 48, flashing to the near side of your screen. There to help clean it up. Those two, the only two double-figure tacklers a week ago. Pickup of 2. For Clausen. This time it's the dive up the middle into the pile of bodies. And the dive man in this Panther offense is Nathaniel Wenninger, the junior at 5'9", 190. He'll get a little something positive. To the 45 for a 3rd down and 6. That's as spread out as the Panthers get there. Fake one, give and a roll. Clausen wants to throw, firing it out, has a man, and the catch is made by Skelly for a 1st down at the 31-yard line. Clausen showing everybody something with his arm, and he's calm, and he's got a great target in Skelly, who's shown tremendous hands so far this year. 14-yard pickup through the air. Play design, rolling out. He had plenty of ground to tap those feet. Already 36 yards on that connection of Clausen to Skelly. Back to the ground, and the ball's on the deck. Irondale eventually has that slick pig rolling to a rest underneath Trenton Taylor, and the linebacker has the recovery for the Knights. You couldn't afford that. And the Panther defense now put on the spot. The 3rd giveaway for this Panthers offense this year. And there was a chance they still were going to get that one back, but it eventually slid all the way up to Taylor. And now the Knights have a chance working from their own 26-yard line with just 49 seconds to go in the 1st quarter. Motion man's Barassa. They fake to him. Deep ball down the sideline and overthrown everybody. Zupfer was looking for Gabe Casper again. And it's incomplete. Zupfer last week, 8 of 11. So a high completion percentage, threw for 87 yards. His top target was Casper with 5 catches for 62 and a score. Traditional eye look. Barassa had the most carries a week ago, dotting that eye. Give it to him on a 2nd down and 10. He spins out past the 35 to the 36 before Skelly and company bring him down. A little support up there from Jacob Fritz. That'll be 3rd and 1. Pickup of 9, looking for that one more. They'll go to Shaw, who turns the corner and should have it. Winding his way out to the 40-yard line. Out of bounds to pause the clock. And it'll be a 1st down. Gain of 6. And the clock spins on the whistle. I don't think the Knights are in too big a hurry to do anything on this side of the quarter break. Panthers score the lone touchdown of the 1st. They've also got the lone turnover of this game so far. And right now trying to defend against the aftermath of that. We'll come back to Spring Lake Park. The battle for the block underway. 7-0 Panthers after 1 on North Metro TV.
vino Campidoglio, vino rosso, vino bianco, cappuccino, Rigoletto, Canaletto, Saccomano, Vaporetto, Portofino, Leonardo, Amaretto, Marco Polo, Parmigiano, Caravaggio, Arlecchino, Allegretto ma non troppo piano, piano, Bardolino. Viva, 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 viva l'Italia, viva l'Italia, viva, 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 viva l'Italia che mi va.
7-0 Panthers after one. Defense on the field after a Panther fumble. With a first down and 10 for the Irondale Knights. Zephyr and company from their own 41-yard line. They've got a couple of big plays so far, just not consistency. Shaw nowhere to go. He bounces off the line of scrimmage, picks up a big block to the edge. Ball's out again. Panthers will have this one. Big time hit laid on by Joey Sorensen. And it's Panther football at their own 43, recovered by Tassie Johnson-Kelly. That's what you're looking for out of your defense. You got a giveaway. You take it right back. Sorensen, bang, put it right on the football as Wetzel started to make the tackle. And Tassie Johnson-Kelly, let's see how this ball popped out. It might have more been Wetzel to get credit for that with the left hand poking out there. And then Tassie Johnson-Kelly, look ma what I found. With 11:48 to go here in this second quarter, up 7-0. Little go. Oh, just overthrown from Nate Litke. That play was wide open and just past his outstretched hands. So the shot on first down goes awry. That'll be a second down and 10 from their own 40. Well, whenever the official figures out where he wants to put it, the 43-yard line. Panthers, the only score of this game so far, a 14-yard run by Henry Dennis. Clausen gives to Dennis, bursting through the middle, carrying some tacklers to midfield. He was dragging Trenton Taylor with him. Taylor eventually rides him down to the ground. But a pickup of 7 and a third down and manageable for Henry Dennis. He's already up over 20 yards on the ground. Ball security there, driving forward to finish the run. Third down and 3 from midfield. Full backfield. Winninger is the deep back. Give to Winninger. They drop the football again. It's recovered by the Panthers there at the line of scrimmage. Big offensive lineman Max Pavarud saved the bacon of Spring Lake Park from midfield. And what's the play? Nick Ojow is going to bring it into the huddle. And from midfield, looks like the Panthers will go with it. That's kind of a mesh point fumble right there. Irondale did a great job. Blake Helland flying in there to make a play. But I don't know that Winninger ever really had the football. They spot him at the 50, so it's a fourth down and 3. Clausen, he'll take, give over the left side. Room to go into Irondale territory for Aaron Payne down to the 36-yard line. And a quick burst for the 3 plus more, a 14-yard pickup and a big smile for Aaron Payne, the senior, on his first carry. Just create a pocket. He runs behind Pavarud, who opened up a little more than a pocket there. Payne does the rest. First and 10 Panthers from the 36-yard line. Excellent blocking up front to get him here once again into Knights territory. They'll try to go Dennis this time, and he'll lose the football. And some of this is just straight ball security. Others is the Knights are creating some traffic right where the handoffs are occurring. Alvin G comes away with the fumble recovery. And our third straight possession of this game ends with a fumble. Second for the Panthers. Look at it again. There's going to be white shirts right there. Now, Dennis never had it, but he also sped up that clock with the pressure of Logan Kraychek being right there in his kitchen. And we're seeing it from both teams here. A little bit of sloppy play here in this first half. From the 31, wide receiver screen for the Knights. Minimal gain out to the 33-yard line on the pitch and catch to Reuben King.
Sorensen on the tackle for the Panthers.
King, a tailback, used in that passing game as well for the Knights. None of these teams here in high school football in Minnesota, as those who have followed it would know, none of these teams the luxury of any sort of scrimmage. Their preseason practice stunted back and forth, off and on. Little toss up ahead to make something out of nothing, looking for Barraza, goes incomplete. So last week, even this week, teams still kind of at square one, making sure all the execution is there. It'll be a work in progress through these 6 games of the fall. Clock stops with 9:17 to go. Panthers turn the last turnover into a takeaway of their own. Now just trying to get a 3 and out here. Irondale needs a big play. Zupfer running for his life there with Skelly pressuring, got the ball away out past the 40. Rally tackles, but it was enough for the first down. As Gabe Casper at 6'3", 200 cuts an imposing figure down the field. Makes the grab at the 42. So he picks up 9. They needed 8. Looked like more the way Zupfer rolled back, but kept it alive and found his big target all alone there. Nolan Toomey, a good wrap-up tackle, but just a yard too late. Clock continues to run, 9 minutes to go. Panthers kicked off in this game. They'll get the ball to start the second half. 2 fumbles keeping him from getting any more on the board. Jordan Shaw will run to the left side, and he's tumbled over by the Panthers before he gets to the 50. Did the ball come out? The ball came out again. This time it was picked up by the Knights and advanced by Barraza. Get another look at that. Shaw trying to turn the corner. He's upended, loses it on a helmet of a Panther. Barraza picks it up, tries to turn, and Ojal and company there to meet him. Caden Carson also to help bring him down at the 49-yard line. It all turns into a gain of 7 in the 2nd and 3. Motion man Barraza. 2 guys were in motion as he'll run right side and pushes to the 45-yard line. Although they didn't blow this play dead, there was the flag out, and I thought it would be on Irondale with the way their motion was going, but they let the play roll on. We'll see. They are marching backwards. It was an illegal shift. Didn't catch who it was. I mean, you could blame it on Barraza, but I think he was supposed to be moving. Someone else wasn't. For the Knights, so our first penalty of the game moves them back to the 44. Eight minutes to go here in this first half. Panthers and Knights, a lot on the ground, but there have been some big pass plays through the air. Second down and 8. Zupfer up the middle, just escapes the deep loss, but Ojal drags him down. He was forced through the middle by Casey Sills, senior defensive tackle. Gains the 44 again to avoid the loss, but it's 3rd and 8. This defense rolling here, forcing a turnover. Punts on every other possession. This is the longest possession at play number 6 coming up for the Knights. One other drive included a first down. Zupfer looking for space, rolling. Flings it into traffic, tipped away and incomplete. Sorensen coming over to make that play. Heavy hitter, can also get over in the pass game. Last year, 4 interceptions for Joey Sorensen to go along with 111 tackles. I got the fingertip on that to make it 4th down and 8. Had to go a long way, timed it well. and avoided too much contact. He's given up a lot, by the way. He stands 5'8", does Sorensen. What a leap, going up against a guy in Gabe Casper, who goes 6'3". High snap on the punt. Panthers might have got a piece of this the way it came off the foot. It does bounce into Panther territory and rests at the 40. 4 punts and a fumble forced by this Panther defense so far in the first half. They lead it by just 7. High snap. Kiani, he's had to get creative here. And that one might have just come up awkwardly off his foot. I don't know if there was contact so much as an awkward release off the foot because that pressure was there. Results in a ball at the 40-yard line for the Panthers. Last 2 drives, fumbles. This time they'll go to Litke. Litke with space, out of an arm tackle. Breaking to the edge, and Litke still in bounds. Gives as good as he got, bouncing out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Taking on the tackler, and a big-time run on first down deep into Irondale territory. For Nate Litke. Well blocked. Good pull to the outside, but the block was set by the tight end, DJ Omadara. And that sprung Litke, whose speed did the rest. 39 yards for Litke. Change at the line of scrimmage to Dennis. Out of the backfield and eventually dragged down. That was the 3rd tackler to it. Trenton Taylor proved equal to the task for the Irondale Knights. Brings down Dennis at the 17. 2nd and 6 coming up. Dennis has the lone score of this game from 14 yards out. Held in check for the most part a week ago. Just a lot of short runs. That Becker defense up front was stout. Dennis more room to run in this one. And out of some tackles as he was right there. And left with a towel was Logan Kraychak, who thought he was going to bring down Henry Dennis, but the towel tore away. And Dennis was able to dive inside the 15 to pick up 3 more. Make it a 3rd down and 3. Clock continues to spin. Under 6 minutes to go by the time this one's snapped. Skelly will split out wide. Dueling tight ends, Ojal and Omadara on either side of the line. Nick Wetzel comes in the backfield along with Wenninger. Wenninger, the give, and right into the arms of the defense. A good read for Kraychak and the Knights. Left with more than a towel that time, and Kraychak forces 4th down. Right at the 14-yard line, so no gain, no loss. It's 4th down and 3. Panthers have picked up a 4th down in this half already. Trying to do it again here. 2 fumbles kept them from expanding their 7-0 lead. A cold week, too. The Knights hanging around. Punch at the line of scrimmage. They'll give to Payne. He picked up the last 4th down, and he'll get this one down to the 10-yard line. He picks up 4 when they needed 3, and Aaron Payne, well, that's who you're going to call when you need a 4th down conversion. And he comes up with those 4 yards. And somebody injured for the Knights, so that brings us to a stop. Blake Helland. And so they'll get a look at Helland. 5 minutes to go here as he'll gingerly walk off the field. Suburban Blue matchup here. 2 teams yesterday in the Suburban Blue already played. Hopkins lost to Farmington 48-7. Holy Angels beat Park Center 28-7. And tonight, 2 games featuring Suburban Blue teams going on elsewhere. Coon Rapids at Forest Lake, the only other Suburban Blue on Suburban Blue. That kicked off at 7. Armstrong and Chaska scheduled as well. And from the Suburban Blue to a Blu-ray, you can order this game as a keepsake. Dennis and Payne back into the backfield. Give to Payne. Running behind, good blocking, pushes down to the 5. Good push straight up front from Brock Larson, the right tackle. Ben Keener on that right side, pushing the pile as well. Goal to go from the 6-yard line. .22 yards for Payne, 42, mostly on one run for Litke. He's not on the field now. The dueling tight ends, two tailbacks, fade, Skelly, end zone, two-hand grab, makes the catch. No, he dropped it on the way down to the deck. The big hit going down. Preston Nimley took it away from the Panthers. That was 6 on the board. Instead, it's 3rd and goal rather, from the 6-yard line. Beautiful ball, great grab, top of the leap. And then the defense comes over. Nimley was bringing him down. It was actually punched out by Trenton Taylor. Could have got a horse collar there, but no flag. Goal to go from the 6. Payne diving down towards the 1. It'll be 4th down from the 1-yard line. Well, he has picked up 2 other 4th downs. And we'll see if Aaron Payne stays on the field. He runs in tight quarters there. Finds the blue shirts in front, sticks with them. Just comes up a football length short of the goal line. And the Knights go sprinting for a timeout. Under 4 minutes to play in the half, and Irondale takes a timeout here with the Panthers still just leading 7-0. But knocking on the door. So far, the story, not the offense or really the defense, but the lack of ball security both ways. The Panthers have turned it over twice in this game, both via the fumble. Henry Dennis at the mesh point couldn't hang on to it. Knights gave him one back, though, out in open space as Johnson Kelly able to pick up the recovery. Very next possession, though, it was Dennis again, not on the same page with Clausen to securely bring that football into possession. And we had 3 straight possessions that ended in fumbles. Since then, a punt for Irondale, and now this ensuing drive for the Panthers. Started at their own 40. A big pass play to Nate Litke for 39 yards to get him deep into Irondale territory. Now 4th and goal from the 1. Payne has carried the mail for 2 4th down conversions. He's on the left, split behind Clausen. Dennis back there too. They'll give to Payne. He gets the push, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown Panthers. They'll take a 2-score lead with just under 3:50 remaining in the half. Aaron Payne scores for the first time, capping off a 9-play drive. Took 3 minutes and 18 seconds, 3 minutes and 28 seconds rather off the clock. PAT, that was tipped at the line of scrimmage and still makes its way through. Brayton Comer using the leg, forcing it through the contact, and here's the touchdown. 3 4th down carries for Aaron Payne. He's got a pair of first downs and a touchdown. The PAT good to make it 14-0. And on each of those 4th downs, Payne's first was the longest, and there it is, giving some love to the offensive line. And those boys up front doing a job. Payne finding the seam, and the Panther offense finally hangs on to the football and scores for the 2nd time. Last year's 2 scores, the regular season matchup, which came in September, 34-7. Panthers didn't give up a touchdown until the 4th against Irondale. And then later in October in the section's 2nd round, blanked them 24-0. We're up by this same score, 14-0 at the half in that game. 3:43 to go here in this half. Low bounding kick, trying to make Irondale make a mistake and also keep it away from Jordan Shaw. And it's picked up by Foster Mulvihill again, who's got 2 kick returns to his credit today. Hangs on to the football, pushes it out past the 36-yard line. So, the unit of the half has been this Panther defense. So far, making life tough on Jack Zupfer. Senior quarterback. 70% completions last week. He's got just 3 completions so far. 7 attempts today. Keep it on the ground on first down. Barassa trying to bounce to the outside, and this is too quick of a defense here in week 2 to bounce anywhere. Kaja in on the stop. Nick Wetzel helping seal the edge. You know, you're calling out these linebackers. That's your 2 inside linebackers right there, and Wetzel and Kaja running the defense. But it's those 4 up fronts that are allowing that to happen. Ogile, Watts on the edges. Then you got Sills and Pakala in the middle. An athletic bunch, and they can take up space and let those linebackers go to work. It's 2nd down and 11. Loss of 1 back to the 35. A throw into traffic, and it drops down. That was flanked by 3 Panthers, including Nolan Toomey, who was over there. Had the interception a week ago. Looked to be going for C.J. Ritchie, the junior wide receiver. Trying to spread the ball around a bit. The favorite target for Zupfer has been Gabe Casper. So it'll be 3rd down and 11. Stops the clock here. The battle for the block. 14 of the last 19 have gone to the Spring Lake Park Panthers. Takes you back to 2004. One of the wins for the Irondale Knights came in that 2004 game. Zupfer had some blocking. It breaks down, fires it out, and it's rejected up in the air by Kaja. Was able to rip it away from Ritchie. Zupfer grabs on a rebound for a moment. It'll be 4th and 11. Kaja, the senior. 7 tackles as mentioned yesterday. He has flashed with a couple of tackles at and behind the line of scrimmage. This time, though, proving athletic, dropping back in coverage as Zupfer just had to let it go. The face of that pressure, that's a great read. A little higher as the snap is dropped. And yet again, Noah Kiani saving the bacon of this special teams unit on the punt as he somehow still got it away. Not getting a lot of yardage on those, but every single punt has been better than the potential outcome, as he has had all kinds of company in the backfield with him on all 3 of his punts, or rather 3 of his now 5 punts so far. 5 punts and a fumble. That's been possessions for Irondale. Panthers see if they can tack more on from their own 37. 1 punt, 2 fumbles, and 2 touchdowns. Wide receiver screen. Litke this time turns and finds contact waiting for him. It's Alvin Gee. Ushers him out of bounds. The 38-yard line for a short pickup of 1. It's going to be interesting to watch how they use number 12, Nate Litke, throughout the year. He got a lot of touches in a lot of different ways a week ago against Becker. And this one has the big 39-yard carry. He goes in motion again. They'll give it to him. Picked up a block, able to turn the corner out to the 35-yard line. Omadara on the block. Peyton Thompson as well. Didn't get a lot of snaps last week at the wide receiver spot, but number 7 in blue, able to bounce out and find a key block for Litke to help spring him to the 46. Litke has 51 unofficially on the ground. Five-man pressure. They'll throw against it. Clausen has a man, moving backwards though at the 50-yard line for the forward progress. That was Payne. Keeps the clock moving. Well, they have the first down, so it'll pause the clock. Good read from Clausen. Just the momentum of Payne going backwards, so when the tackle was there immediately from Trenton Taylor, not a lot after the catch. A 4-yard pickup and another first down. Litke trying to go right, that short side of the field. There's a flag down. Could be a hold on the Panthers, as that was stoned up well by the Knights. Alton Glodek got there. Run that risk. You keep going to the edge. Somebody lingers on that block, and it turns into a hold.
Flag in the play. Holding, Spring Lake Park.
Like he said, 35, which would be Seth Johnson. 53, excuse me. That's Brock Larson, the right tackle. That makes more sense. He got into the kitchen of Kraychek. So the penalty, first on the Panthers of the day, moves them back to their own 40-yard line. Clausen wants to throw. He'll just dump it off to Dennis, who basically had a man waiting with him. Dennis taken down immediately by Kraychek, who's having a great game so far. One time Dennis got him sneaking free, but that time the completion is back at the 35-yard line, so they lose 5 more yards. And it's 2nd and 24. Panthers happy that the clock is spinning down. They've got their 14-0 lead. Payne was in motion there. Give it to Litke. He cuts up earlier this time, and he spins it down at the 50-yard line. Trenton Taylor on the stop. But a pickup of 15 will make it a 3rd down and 9. They'll call it 3rd and 10 officially. And there was a flag. So missed that one straight in the backfield, and now it's an epidemic of flags to move the Panthers back again. And they'll be happy to just see this half end with a 14-0 score, despite the big plays from Litke and company. Because they're going to be back inside their own 30 at the 25-yard line. So that erases a gain of 15 and replaces it with a loss of 15 on the penalty. Clock reset here in this stadium to 52 seconds. Dennis hand in the ground. Litke goes in motion. Clausen keeps wanting to throw. That ball was tipped out of his hands. He might have been looking for Dennis there. Came up well short. It also stops the clock here with 3rd down. And now they'll have to punt the football with still 45 seconds to go. It is 3rd down, so they were 1 ahead on the scoreboard clock here. The old 3rd and 35 play. What do you got? The Knights still have all of their timeouts, or excuse me, 2 of their timeouts at their disposal here to try and preserve some time and get something positive out of the potential ensuing punt. Clausen's just going to run it with Dennis. Dennis is spun down immediately by Trenton Taylor. And there's the timeout from the Knights. They'll have 40 seconds to work with. It'll be 4th and a mile. So 2 big penalties backing the Panthers up on that drive. What should have been a drive to end the half turns into a negative yardage drive, and a dicey spot where Caden Carson's going to have to get the punt away here. NorthMetroTV.com, that's the spot to be to find all the information on where we will be with all of our cameras, with our one-camera productions, and the full schedule, and also where you can watch games back on demand. NorthMetroTV.com. Hope everybody out there was able to watch last week's game, and more so hope everybody out there was able to watch this week's episode of Sports Den from a combined 2 basements, mine and Kit and Kip's. You don't get that every day, folks. Great work from Jeremy Millington getting all the technical side of that set up. And we got a jam-packed sports stand with 10 highlights. This punt is away, and what was nearly a good return for Preston Nimley. Underway. Or was that Shaw? Either way, he slipped down. It was Nimley. Slipped down at the 35 before he could really get going. And Caden Carson proving a weapon right there for the Panthers. As he booms that. Put his foot into it somewhere around the 15-yard line. Ends up at the 35. 50-yard net on that. Knights are going to do something. They've got one timeout. 31 seconds to work with. Zupfer rolling, will throw short. Has a man with a stiff arm on Skelly, and King steps out of bounds to stop the clock. So he kept Skelly from rocking him backwards and keeping him in bounds with that nifty little right-handed stiff arm. Down to the 41 on a pickup of 7. Second down and 3. Defense needs a strong 24 seconds here. Just to keep things status quo. Zupfer looking to go deep, plants this one, fires it into the sideline, stops the clock. Under 20 seconds to go. Be a third down and 3. Panthers get the football to start the second half. Open the game, forcing a pair of punts, punting it away on their first drive, but a 14-yard touchdown run capped off a 3-play, 48-second drive that began in Irondale territory. Third and 3. Over the middle, catch made by Casper. Rally to the football, tackle taken down at the 48. It'll be a first down. Timeout Irondale with 12 seconds to go. Trying to figure out where they need to get Zupfer to maybe give them a chance to put it somewhere close to the end zone. Got a very clean pocket as the Panthers were not bringing any extra pressure. Sorensen comes up and makes the tackle after Casper bounced away from the first man. Our other two North Metro TV teams were in action last night. Totino Grace and Centennial, we had that one. As you can find out what games we're covering when, both the website and on social media, northmetrotv.com, and at NMTV Sports, at North Metro TV on social media. It was a battle of top 10 teams in the Metro top 10 rankings. Number 8, Maple Grove upends number 9, Blaine, 26-14 yesterday. Maple Grove had a 20-7 halftime lead, ran for 213. Tyler Schuster, though, for the Bengals, 2 more touchdown passes. And Totino Grace on our airwaves beat Centennial 21-7 after the Cougars had a 7-0 early lead, 7-0 halftime lead. Zupfer towards the end zone. Incomplete, stops the clock, 6 seconds to go. Didn't quite have it to the blue paint on the fly there, but he was hoping to get it to C.J. Ritchie. Could do the rest with his legs. Be a 2nd and 10. Panthers took over on their last drive with 2:35 to go. 2 penalties backed them up. Got a great punt from Caden Carson. They now need to defend one more play to keep the Knights off the board in the first half. Zupfer. 4 receivers going out. Zupfer needs spaces. He's running away from Ojai. Ojai was blocked off the play. Zupfer throws that one up for grabs, and it is caught at the 30-yard line, but no time to do anything with it for Casper. Still made the grab, but that will end the half. Time had expired by the time that ball was in the air. So it's a 29-yard pickup, but it won't do Irondale any good. Halftime, Panthers get the ball to start the second half, and they've got a 14-0 lead here at the half. back to talk about what we've seen so far here from Spring Lake Park as the Panthers, the battle for the block, have a 14-0 lead at the break on North Metro TV.
It's game time, let's go!
Back with you on North Metro TV as the Spring Lake Park Panthers have a 14-0 lead on the Irondale Knights at the break. It wasn't clean in the first half, but the Panthers still have that 14-0 lead going into the second, looking for that first win of the year. Things got underway quickly for the Panther defense to set up their offense on their second drive of the day. Caleb Skelly, little screen pass. He turns upfield, maybe tried to stay in bounds there, but he did set up a touchdown from 14 yards out. Henry Dennis, his first score of the season, scampers in to beat the Knights and make it 6-0. The extra point was good. 7-0 Panthers. There are fumbles in between this and that derailed the Panthers just a bit, but Nate Litke got back on the tracks and he rumbled his way down the field. That was a 39-yard carry for Litke. And then the story perhaps of the first half, Aaron Payne dives for a yard there for the touchdown, but that was his fourth down pickup. These were the turnovers we talked about, as Henry Dennis and Aaron Clausen having a little trouble on that mesh point for the two Panther turnovers. These turnovers came in succession, 3 possessions in a row. Panther fumble, Irondale fumble. Panthers got it back, but would give it back the exact same way to the Knights. Both teams became a little more ball secure after that, but that kind of stymied us from scoring midway through that half. Panther defense, well, they kept things in check. Knights trying to stretch things out to the outside. Nothing on a cutback. and just the swarming defensive front. Really the front four, I think, setting the tone in this, but allowing plays to then be made by the linebackers in the run game, and the defensive backs able to read things well. There's a linebacker dropping back in coverage. Kaja and Sorensen getting their hands on the football to knock things away. And all told, holding the Knights to 73 yards, 48 of it through the air on a couple of big plays, as the wide receiver Casper has found himself open a couple of times. 25 on the ground. They've got the one turnover, and the Panthers 159 of total offense, 122 of that coming on the ground. A couple of big plays through the air for Spring Lake Park. Really, actually just the one big play through the air. Skelly has catches of 14 and 22. 36 of those 37 pass yards. And the two turnovers, the biggest difference there. It means maybe two more possessions where the Panthers couldn't have increased the lead here. But they'll start with the football, up 14-0. Still a little time here at the break. We'll come back to Spring Lake Park for half number 2. Panthers and Knights, week 2 action. The battle for the... Panthers looking to make it 5 straight against the Irondale Knights here in the battle for the block. They've got the 14-0 lead as the Panthers won 8 of the last 10 in this head-to-head matchup. Everybody says it. This the biggest rivalry for the Panthers. It's been going on a long time, and it just keeps rolling. The Panthers, though, have had the edge lately. Henry Dennis giving them the edge courtesy of his 14-yard touchdown run in the first half. Panthers will start with the ball here in the second half. First of 3 home games this season. Right out of the gates with 2, and they've just got one more. That'll be against St. Louis Park coming up in 2 weeks after a trip to Coon Rapids. Payne has the return, looking for the seam. Takes on a tackler and pushes out past the 30-yard line. That's a good tackle in coverage, but a better finish to that run for Aaron Payne. And he's having a big-time game. This time he sets up the Panthers, taking it from the 1 out to the 33-yard line, so a 32-yard return for Aaron Payne. The bench thought he was going to go. Touchdown-saving tackle from Alvin G. That's 2 good football players meeting at the point of attack right there. From the 33-yard line for Aaron Clausen, first-year starting quarterback for the Panthers. And a good first game in which he had over 100 yards of total offense accounted for. Gives to Henry Dennis on first down. Dennis trying to tuck his way behind Dylan Lewis, his left guard, and good push defensively from the Irondale Knights. Stops him right there at the 33 for no gain. Dennis will be the lone tailback again. Payne and Litke split as the edges. Skelly wide to the right. Pressure coming straight up the middle. Litke will try to run around it. Litke got some speed, and he put the ball on the deck. It's recovered by the Panthers. 4th fumble by the Panthers in this game. That's the second time they've recovered it, courtesy of an offensive lineman. This time it's Brock Larson. Pulls the Chestnuts from the fire there. Falling on that one, it'll be a 3rd down and 5 from the 38-yard line. So Litke picks up 5. And they'll be working on some ball security drills no matter how the rest of this one goes. 6 guys coming into the backfield. The ball's out again, and it's Clausen who falls on it this time. He was trying to get it to Dennis. There was a defender in the backfield right there to meet him, and it pushes the football back to the 33. They'll lose 2 more yards, and it'll be 4th down. They'll lose 5 more yards, rather. It'll be 4th down and 10. Off the edge, that blitz pressure from Glodek. And the junior came up, flew into the backfield and blew up that handoff. 5 fumbles for the Panthers. Here's Caden Carson trying to drive the return man back, and he will do just that. Pushes him all the way back to the 25. It's muffed, and the Knights have to fall on it. That's Nimley. And Caden Carson doing what he can to alter the field position in this game. Plenty of backpedaling right through the wickets. Panthers just couldn't quite get there in time to recover. But they'll force him to the 22-yard line. So still up just by 2 scores. Inside of 10 minutes to play. Panthers and Knights. Knights have 3 of their first 4 games at home after beating Park Center at home last week. Back-to-back home games coming up. Barasa diving through the middle. Kaja there to meet him along with the defensive lineman Andy Pakala. Brought him down at the 23-yard line. Barasa, the most carries last week, but held under 100 yards. It was Jordan Shaw who drew the headlines, rushing for 14 yards a carry on 8 carries. Nobody's gotten that kind of traction for the Knights on offense here today. They'll pitch it left side for Reuben King. Reuben King, a long way sideways as the Panthers string it out. Defensive back Tassie Johnson-Kelly, who's got a fumble recovery in this game, ushering him out of bounds on that far side. Ball spotted just inside the 28-yard line. This will be 3rd down and 4. Panther defense last week couldn't get off the field. 6 first-half 3rd down conversions for the Becker Bulldogs a week ago. Panthers have been better today. Ojal was nearly there to blow that one up. It goes to Shaw. He's met by Skelly. And the rallying, tackling blue shirts swarm to the football and bring him down at the 26. A loss of 2. Skelly there after Ojal nearly jumped that route. Nick Ojal, the junior, of course, he's had 2 older brothers who've come through this program and through this school. And saw the Ojal clan walking in here, including Zach. Better punt this time for Keone. Still not able to drive it past midfield, but he got that one away much cleaner. So the Panther defense comes out, forces another punt, which is all they've done. The half ended on an Irondale drive, and Irondale has fumbled. They do not have a drive longer than 7 plays. And the Knights still don't. And the Panthers will take over right at midfield at the 50-yard line. 8:32. Ticking here once this ball snapped to Clausen. Clausen to Payne. Payne dropped that football, and it's incomplete, they say. There's the Ojal clan right there. Zach on the right. Now plays it Minnesota Duluth. Of course, not actively, with everything getting shut down still at the Division II level. But he's become a heck of a tight end for the Bulldogs. His first couple of seasons up there. Clausen will keep. Peels off the edge with space. Late pitch. Pan and speed. Cut back. And a tumble down inside the 10. That'll make the old Panther QB in the stands proud to see that play pulled out. The delayed pitch, it's always available. And Payne rumbles it down to the 6-yard line. Picks up 44. Gotta have nerves of steel, and then when you get it from that quarterback with those nerves, turn on the Jets, and just the turf monster kept him out of the paint for his second score. Clock spinning down towards 8 minutes to go. Clausen wants to run. Needs space to the outside. He'll get there. Touchdown, Panthers. Clausen's second rushing touchdown. Of this season, and he's got him an extra point away from a 21-point lead. 3 plays, 50 yards. .44 of it on one scamper. The extra point from Comer is good, and it is 21-0 in favor of the Panthers. Very patient run by Clausen on the 6-yard scamper. The play might have been to go up the middle behind Henry Dennis, but Clausen knew he had a lot of field wide to the left, and he walks in untouched. 3 plays, 50 yards. 37 seconds off the clock. So the Panthers now have scoring drives of 48 seconds and 37 seconds. Their middle touchdown, that was their longest drive, the longest drive of anybody in the game. 9 plays, 3:28. And it was Aaron Payne on that pitch. And he needs to hydrate up. He's got to score. And he's set up another. As the Panthers 3 rushing touchdowns from 3 different ball carriers: Payne, Clausen, and Dennis. Shaw picked up the ground ball, bounces off some tacklers, and he's ushered out of bounds just out past the 35-yard line. So they'll give him the 38, and that's where this drive will begin for the Irondale Knights. Now, the way this defense has played, you would think that this 21 is more than enough, but they can't let up against an offense, no matter who they were playing, an offense that put up 52 points a week ago. They'll go 4 wide receivers down, 3 scores here. Zupfer to throw, has a man, but it's off his fingertips, a little too high. The pressure was right there from Johnson Kelly, covering on C.J. Ritchie, the intended target. An incompletion will start things off. 1 for 2 through the air for Jack Zupfer. Pauses the clock, just shy of 7:40 remaining. Next week, mentioned briefly at Coon Rapids for Spring Lake Park. Coon Rapids off to an 0-1 start. And they're taking on Forest Lake tonight. Up back, gets the carry, and that's the fullback Thompson. Ibrahim Thompson, the senior, it's 5'9", 215. And to bully his way through the line, pushes ahead of the 41 for a pickup of 3. Again, a throw for Zupfer. Pressure coming at him. Gets it away, it's intercepted. Skelly's got it coming back the other way, trying to find a seam down the left. He's got a convoy. Skelly looking for 6 off the pick. He'll dive. He was out of bounds at the 7. Oh, the sideline, the shoe's a little too big for Caleb Skelly. A couple of times today, he just stepped out of bounds. But he's got the pick, and the Panthers will knock on the door. Goal to go from the 7. Zupfer put this up for grabs, and Skelly read it all the way. So the Panthers can put this one away early. from the 8. Skelly will split out wide to the right. He'll still have a chance maybe to get the 6 here. And they'll fade it to him. First play up for grabs, and Skelly couldn't get the hand up, and it was just overthrown. There was a lot of end zone behind him to maybe try and go get it, but he couldn't release from Nimley. You gotta love that. Guy's the two-way player. He gets you the interception, just misses the end zone. Give him a chance. Well, there was a hold from me to you, not called. It was in the end zone, so it's down the field far enough. But the Panthers up 3 scores, not crying over it here. 6:50 remaining in the timeouts. So they get back even in the turnover battle, do the Panthers. So far in the second half, they forced that turnover and held Irondale to 7 yards on offense. Can't say it enough. NorthMetroTV.com. That's where you can find the details on our game coverage and their action-packed weeks. Soccer playoffs getting into the mix. And then, of course, volleyball and football just comparatively at the very start of their journeys here in 2020. So that was Skelly's opportunity to maybe go get that. Now the Panthers on 2nd and goal from the 8. Payne and Dennis both have a score. They're in the backfield. It'll be Payne. This time he gets no room to go. Trying to tumble over that left side, and he was stood up by Glodek. Very good in run support. Alton Glodek, 6'1", 170. So long and lean for Glodek, the defensive back. But he's been strong up at the point of attack. 3rd and goal from the 8. And an Irondale Knight down on a knee in the middle. That's Levi Casa. He's just a sophomore on this team for Coach Fuller that features 30 sophomores on the roster. It's their largest class of players. Now, obviously, not all of them active parts of the game plan, but Casa, the big defensive lineman at 255, 6 foot 255. He'll have to step off the field here. 22 seniors, 25 juniors, and 30 sophomores. Coach Fuller took over in 2014. He's only seen 1 win against the Panthers, and that was in 2017, but he's hoping maybe these underclassmen building towards something. Ball on the deck again. Panthers trying to hand it off to Nick Wetzel, and it'll be 4th and goal from back at the 15-yard line. And they'll have to settle for a field goal try. Cannot hang on to the football. And Wetzel does a good job to fall on it, preserve possession, and give this opportunity at a 33-yard field goal attempt for Brayton Comer. First field goal attempt of the season. Snap, hold there. His kick comes up short. It was straight on. It just came up short. And so the Panthers cannot turn the Skelly interception into points and still lead it by 3 scores. Now inside of 6 minutes to go. Here in 3rd. Irondale will take over at the 20. Just not enough leg on it. And you like the execution if you're Coach Stewart. Those phases of the snap, the hold, and the kick. The kick just didn't have enough leg. What do the Knights have? Not enough in the middle as the Panthers stonewall the ball carrier Barassa and push him back for no gain. And Barassa Tried to get off the field and couldn't. Made it to the hash marks on the far side. Pounds the turf in frustration. And 4 straight wins overall in this battle for the block for the Spring Lake Park Panthers. But perhaps even more impressive, 7 straight here at home. The last 3 wins, Barraza will limp his way off. The last 3 wins for the Knights have come at home. You see that? Trying to stand up and spin, and ouch. That left leg. Cleats stay in the turf. He gets spun back the other way. Yeah, good to see him walking off under his own power, and hopefully just a tweak there. So 2nd down and 8 from the 22. Without Barraza, Shaw becomes the deep back. He bounces in the hole off a couple of tacklers. Spins close to the 29-yard line. Gain of 7. And this Irondale offense trying to get on track here. They haven't all night. Obviously, it's against a Park Center team that is going to struggle this year, but they put up 406 of total offense, including 291. And now another running back down on a knee is that Shaw. After we saw Barraza go off, Connor Cavall comes into the huddle. Trainer's not out there yet, probably still looking at Barraza, who just came off. And now Shaw never went all the way down, but he's been on that knee. So not going to help anybody's cause for Coach Fuller. Walking off a little better, and Shaw's actually going to jog off. But the way he's holding that arm, you don't like the look of that, is maybe more of the issue. So hopefully some or all of these guys can make their way back here for the Knights. But it's been 3 players injured on their last 2 offensive plays and 1 defensive play. So we're under 4.5 to go. It's a 3rd down and 2. They need the 30-yard line. Deep back now is Reuben King. They'll give it to King. King going nowhere, runs into Wetzel. Kept the edge set, brings him down for a loss of 1 at the 28. 3 different ball carriers, all the same results. Contact immediately. Shaw was able to run through it on 2nd down. But not Barraza on 1st, and not King here on 3rd. Drew Watts also in on the stop. It's 4th and 2. Panthers have gotten awful close to a couple of punts so far. Joey Sorensen hasn't had a chance to return anything. They've been short of him. This one will also be short of Sorensen. Come out of bounds somewhere around the 45. So the missed field goal after the interception doesn't hurt the Panthers necessarily. They'll get good field position after another Irondale punt. 3.5 to go here in this 3rd quarter. And the Panthers will pull the trigger on Braden Tulso to come in and run the offense. Up by 3 scores, get somebody else a little try, and first play for Tulso. It's the pass out to Omadara that's just off his fingertips. So Tulso is a sophomore at 5'11", 160. And it's a similar situation to what Clausen was in a year ago. Maybe get him out there and get some experience in a game. And that could pay dividends down the road. The handoff. A little shove for Winiger from Tulsa, his quarterback. Didn't help him out too much. Pushes the ball to the 46, so they'll lose a yard. This one not completely out of reach, but the way the Panther defense is playing, able to move some guys around on the offensive side. I don't think this is anything injury related for Clausen. They'll give. Litke cuts inside his blocker, and he's back to the line of scrimmage and no further. Keeps the clock spinning. Bring up a 4th down and 10. And in comes Caden Carson to see what he can do to pin him deep. Carson gets the foot into it. Bounce at the 15. Take a Panther bounce and a left turn. Rolling down inside the 9. Down to the 8-yard line. Caden Carson, say it again, he's proving a weapon here in this field position battle. If they can execute the snaps, that was their bugaboo last week in that 4th quarter, but if they execute the snaps, Carson can get the foot into it. And he has now pinned the Knights back deep again. Knights have started at their own 20, their own 22, their own 38, now their own 8 here in the second half. First half, they also had a drive start at their own 8-yard line. Quick throw, quicker tackle immediately. Davario Kaja wraps up C.J. Ritchie. Down to the 15-yard line, so 7 through the air to Ritchie. It's up for, not there now, it's Connor Cavall. He's a quarterback wide receiver hybrid. He's back there and he's going to run that wildcat look, trying to go behind his fullback, and he dives past the 20 to the 21-yard line. So he's got the first down. It was 2nd and 3. And so Cavall will come out. He's up for come back in, so maybe something the Knights will try as the season rolls on, bringing that run package for Connor Cavall. Doesn't happen a lot at the high school level, but they liked what they saw right there and keep an opponent guessing. Zupfer will throw again. Has his man out to the left, and the catch is made. Ritchie stays inbounds. He's brought down by the Panthers in pursuit. Jackson Smith making the stop. Along with Owen Spencer. Pick up a 4 to the 25. Inside of 30 seconds to go here in this 3rd quarter. Panthers have the only score of the half so far. 4-man front. Gets to Zupfer, forcing him back. Has to sling it down and just throw it away. He was looking down the field for Shaw. It'll bring up a 4th down. So the Panthers, excuse me, it is 3rd down. So 3rd and 6. Another quick throw. And immediately Hunter Malarnsick is there to wrap up C.J. Ritchie. And Ritchie is shy of the 30-yard line. Needed the 31, and they'll get this punt on the other side of the quarter break. To the 4th, Panthers put 1 on the board in the 3rd. They lead it by 3 touchdowns here in their battle for the block to the 4th quarter of it. Next here on North Metro TV.
Campidoglio, vino rosso, vino bianco, cappuccino, Rigoletto, Canaletto, Saccomano. Vaporetto, Portofino, Leonardo, Amaretto, Marco Polo, Parmigiano, Caravaggio, Arlecchino. Allegretto ma non troppo piano, piano, Bardolino. Viva, 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 viva l'Italia, viva l'Italia, viva, 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 viva l'Italia che mi va.
With you on North Metro TV as we, that's TV, as we head for the fourth quarter. 2-yard touchdown run for Aaron Clausen, the only score of the second half so far. And the Panthers looking to return this punt. That's the best punt so far. It drives Sorensen back, and he'll just let it go and roll out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Took 10 seconds to do it, and the Panthers will take over with 11:50 to go. That's right, 4 in a row, 8 of the last 10, 7 straight at home, and 14 of 19 since 2004 against Irondale for the Panthers. Back comes Aaron Clausen, so not 100% sure what that last series was about with Braden Talso in instead. Clausen, I don't think, was ever off the bench. And he's back. He's going to throw out to the left. He has Payne. Payne runs into the back of his blocker and knocks down Peyton Thompson. But Payne takes it out past the 40 to the 42-yard line to pick up 7. It's his first catch. To go already with 75 yards on the ground. And the score, he's the leading rusher. Aaron Clausen with 53. 2nd and 3. Dennis dragging tacklers close to the 44. Henry Eilifson went for a bit of a ride. They'll mark him at the 43-yard line, so he's too short. Panthers trying to stay on the field, keep that clock spinning, and ice a Week 2 victory. Knights looking to bring pressure. Clausen pauses, gets an adjustment. He'll throw it to Litke. Through Litke's hands, and that's incomplete. Knights were right there thinking that was a backwards pass, and the coaching staff definitely thinks it's a backward pass. They'll bring up a 4th and 2. And the punt stops the clock with 10:16 to go. He's standing at the 40. He flings this to Litke, who's 2 feet behind the 40. Pretty even with each other. So that's borderline, but you can see why the coaching staff thought maybe that should be a backwards pass and a fumble. Clock stops with 10:16 to go. The leg of Caden Carson on display again. Low snap. Got it away, and a booming kick. Drives nimbly back. Takes a Panther bounce. Is covered up by Nolan Hendrickson. So a quick 3 and out. And we've had 4 straight punts after the interception and the missed field goal. Not a lot of action here since the midway part, that 3rd quarter. The Panthers had the electric 44-yard run from Payne and the 6-yard touchdown plunge from Clausen. 10 minutes to go in this Week 2 matchup. From their own 22. Knights will start with it. Under center with their second quarterback, Caval. He wants to run. Did the ball come out? No, he held on to it, but he goes down at the 20. So a loss of 2. Caval's going to stay in there, run the offense. Rolling right, this is a designed keep for him, and he can't get away from Kaja. Brings him down for a loss of 1 again at the 19. They've gone backwards 3 yards. It's 3rd and 13. You could tell, just looking at history between these two teams head to head, that who's ever playing in that middle linebacker spot has a big chance to have a big game. Last year it was Blaine Cooper, double-digit tackles. This year, Demario Kaja has led the way. Zupfer's back in for the 3rd and long. Has a man, it's complete. What a grab. Put the defender on his front hip. The ball came to his back shoulder. And Gabe Casper has another catch. And a first down. Out to the 38-yard line. So Casper and Zupfer have the connection. And the Knights will stay on the field. Zupfer wants to throw again over the middle. It's tipped up into the air and intercepted. Skelly's got it off the tip ball. And he'll go down at the 40. Panthers another takeaway this half on the interception. And the tip drill. And Skelly will have his second. 8:24 to go, and the ball goes back to the Panthers. This defense continues to pitch a shutout. Let's see who got the fingertips on it. Johnson Kelly to Skelly. And the interception. Tassie Johnson Kelly able to get the tap. And Skelly covers it up. Clausen back out there. Delayed pitch. Payne again. This time he cuts upfield and he's tumbled under. Nimley able to bring him down. So the little help on the tip drill for that one, but 2 interceptions for Caleb Skelly. Under 8 to play. Panthers out in front, 14-0 at the half. 1 score here in the second half. Left side for Winiger. And he'll push past the 45-yard line. Spot him right there. And just the difference in the sidelines. You can see it just in the eyes of Connor Caval. They've tried to bring him in late, maybe add a spark to the Knights offense. And they've had no answer for this Panther defense so far. Third and 5 to stay on the field to Dennis. Breaks through the pile, still on his feet, and he could go. Dragged down from behind at the 25, and the ball comes out. Slippery pig drill, and it's picked up by Isaiah Nunn. Henry Dennis had the first down, was eyeing the end zone, taken down from behind and lost the football. And for the 6th time tonight, the Panthers put the ball on the deck. It's the 3rd time they've lost one. What a run by Dennis. And the fumble forced by Alvin G. Under 7 to go, the defense back out there defending from the Irondale 10, where Nunn recovered. Run left, big hit at the 15. They're already down a couple of tailbacks, and Ruben King took a lick from Joey Sorensen. Picks up 7. So the Knights and G keep playing. And the coaching staff is going to like that. Down 3 scores late in the 4th. They may have just given up an icing touchdown on a long missed tackle run. They still run the ball carrier down from behind. Zupfer going for all of it. Underthrew it. And it is complete. C.J. Ritchie takes it off the defender's face mask at the 45. What a grab. 38 yards through the air. And Ritchie's had a big second half. Got a little tug of the jersey, goes over the top. Stays resting on the face mask of Tossie Johnson-Kelly. And they love it on the Irondale side. Ritchie's got the big grab. Under 6 to play. Fake the toss. Zupfer again. He's got number 11 on the mind. He throws it to him. Feet down, but there's a flag down in the backfield. Well executed down the field. Ritchie with a good grab and a toe tap.
Holding Irondale.
But a hold called on the Knights. Skylar Sanders, the right guard, will negate that play. Right side of the screen, 54 in the middle, yep. Wouldn't let him get through and took him down for good measure. Looks like Caden Carson trying to fight through there. So that erases much of the big gaining play even prior to that that stood. Moves them back to the 34-yard line. They lose 21 yards on the holding play. Wide receiver screen. Complete, but too much traffic. Panthers hold that edge well. Nolan Toomey out there.
Tackle for the Panthers.
On the 46, it's still 2nd and 19. Headed down towards 5 minutes to go. Panthers keeping this interesting. Some mistakes in their 3rd turnover. A scoreless 4th quarter so far. Zupfer through pressure, it's intercepted. Sorensen the other way. Dragged down by Shaw just into Irondale territory. And maybe that can put the final stamp on this one. Joey Sorensen, 4 picks a season ago. This one just up for grabs with Ojau providing some pressure. And Shaw with the return-saving tackle. From the 47 of the Knights. Straight up the middle. Hard yards through that right side for Winninger. As he'll push to the 44. Joey Sorensen at least getting the Panthers back to the good side of the turnover margin. They've turned it over 3 times. And they have forced 4 turnovers in this game. Clausen very nearly lost that snap and then turns it into something at the 41, picks up 3. Third down and 4. A couple of 3rd down pickups in this game, and we'd have a lot less drama. And maybe would have put this 4th quarter to bed long ago, but the Panthers unable to stay on the field on offense here in the 4th. Can they do it here? No, they cannot. Henry Dennis immediately runs into the defense of the Knights. Trenton Taylor flies into the backfield. A good first half for Henry Dennis, but including the touchdown, he's been unable to get on track here in half number 2. He was the first one, along with Clausen, to have those mesh point handoff issues. And then, of course, stripped on the way down the field the last time out. He loses 2. It's 4th and 6. Snap will take us under 3 minutes. Clausen to throw. 4 downfield. Flings it on the out route. Right side has a man. It's Litke. Litke walks the tightrope down the sideline into the 5-yard line. And it'll be 1st and goal with just under 3 minutes to go for Litke and the Panthers. Beautifully run routes and perfectly thrown ball to that out route. And Litke just dragged down at the 5. Picks up 38. $21-0. Looking for a score in every quarter for the Panthers. Clausen to Payne. Make it Winiger towards the edge, and he didn't make it. Oh, that was Litke, excuse me. Trying to get him into the end zone. Be goal to go from the 1. Just couldn't stretch it out past Alvin G, who's played a tremendous game all throughout. Staying with Litke there. It will be goal to go from the 1. Under 2 minutes left. Panthers trying to put an offensive stamp on what's been a defensive-dominated performance in this rivalry game for the block. Dennis diving. Is he in? No signal. And he's short. Goal to go from the half-yard line. 3 minutes left. Under a minute and a half left. And it looked like Dennis got awful close, but they say no, so they'll have to do it on 3rd down. Dennis will spin his way home. He stays on his feet this time, and he's got his 2nd touchdown of the game. So they turn the 3rd interception of the half into points. And Henry Dennis has his 2nd touchdown of the season, a 1-yard touchdown run to cap off an 8-play drive that went 47 yards. Extra points. Up and good. So a perfect night on extra points for Braden Comer. He missed his lone field goal attempt, but he's been 4 for 4 on PATs. And Henry Dennis in twice. And we're just under a minute to go before the Panthers can officially claim the block again for a 5th straight season and the 9th time in the last 11 meetings. They'll have to kick it away and defend a couple of passes. They brought the block out onto the field at the start of this one. It's going to stay on this side. You see the handle and the 2 teams represented there, the Knights and the Panthers. Caleb Skelly, big part of it. This was the 2nd units. Kaja among them. And Andy Pakala, a couple of seniors walking the trophy out. Weren't willing to give it up. And they won't have to. Comer's been keeping everything on the deck in this game. He'll boot this one the deepest since the opening kick. Shaw tumbles down. He was trying to find the left side hash marks as he runs right to left. Just tripped up. There you see it. Since 2004, Panthers victorious in this rivalry game 14 of the 19 times, including both postseason meetings that came last year and in 2016. Every other year, once a year meeting. And no wins for the Knights since 2017. No wins here since September of 2008. And that streak's going to continue and move to 8 straight home wins in the rivalry for the Panthers. A pitch in the final 50 seconds. The Panther defense has been stingy all night. 3 takeaways here in the second half mitigated some of the damage done by the Panther giveaways. Really all of the damage, right? You turn it over, put it on the deck 6 times, give it away 3 times. You'd expect to give up some points. The Panther defense picked up their teammates on the offensive side here in this wacky season where you're going to see some of the fundamentals slipping at times. And you just have to survive and be the last team standing within the scheme of the game to make those big plays. Panther defense strung it out long enough for the offense to score in every quarter and take this 4-touchdown lead to the final 25 seconds. Knights trying to pull something out of nothing here. And they had multiple guys moving at the same time. They will throw the flag. And so with 3.5 seconds to go, they'll move them back 5 yards. Fairly clean game penalty-wise. Didn't have a flag thrown until inside the final 5 minutes of the first quarter. This will become the longest win streak since 2004 for either one of these teams. As mentioned, 4 straight for the Panthers. They did that between 2014 and 2016, and there it is. They're going to take a timeout. So should be time back on the clock. Maybe, maybe not. Irondale's coming back out onto the field, so there's 3.5 seconds left. Panther coaches, Panther administrators know this is a big one, and fun to come out here again. Last week it was a tough matchup for a good Becker team, a good 4A team that came in here on a short, basically less than 24 hours of practice to prepare, and the Panthers outgained them on offense, just came up 1 drive short. And now today, going to feel good about getting the first win against their rival Irondale Knights and propel them to what is a much improved Coon Rapids program and should be a battle down Highway 10 next week at Coon Rapids. Everything under this one for Zupfer, and it'll be intercepted, no, through the hands of the Panthers. There is a flag down. So don't go anywhere just yet. Clock is at 0, but there is a flag down. And can't end on a penalty if it's on the defense. And it is. And so we'll run another play here. That crazy schedule we were talking about, go to North Metro TV. It'll start Monday with Section 7-2A boys semifinal soccer. Blaine and Centennial, the 1-4 matchup. Well, that'll actually be a doubleheader at 5 and 7. So that's why it just says semifinals, 5 and 7 o'clock. Because the boys play and then the girls play, and it's postseason play, so we can't bring you that live. But then volleyball, more soccer, and then football next week. Final play again. Zupfer got all of this one into the end zone this time, and it falls incomplete. What a throw from Zupfer, looking for his favorite target, Gabe Casper. But that will expire the time officially, and they can celebrate with the block. 28-0. The Panther defense propels Spring Lake Park to the shutout win and their first victory of 2020. 4 rushing touchdowns, Clausen and Payne each with 1. Dennis bookending this game with the first and the last. And all in between, the Panther defense with 4 takeaways. And the biggest one, they'll take that block away from this field again as victors for the 5th straight time against Irondale. So don't forget, go to NorthMetroTV.com. You can get that full schedule of what we're doing in a busy, busy week with football, volleyball, and soccer next week. And you can join us live or on demand. Panthers take the block to the yard and take it right back with them. 28-0. They beat the Irondale Knights. For everyone with North Metro TV, I'm J.W. Cox. Thanks so much for tuning in. You've been watching high school football on North Metro TV. Good night, everybody.